Have you ever wondered why we're here? What's the point of life? Philosophers have been asking these same questions for centuries. Today, we'll dive into some of the most intriguing theories on the meaning of life and how they can shape our own understanding of purpose. Life's meaning is a question that has baffled thinkers for millennia. Is it something we find, or is it something we create? Philosophers from all around the world have offered different perspectives that can give us valuable insight into our own search for meaning. Let's explore some of the most profound ideas. 1. Aristotle's eudaimonia, happiness and flourishing. Narrative. Aristotle, the great Greek philosopher, believed the ultimate goal of life was to achieve eudaimonia, a term often translated as flourishing or living a fulfilled life. But what does this mean exactly? For Aristotle, happiness wasn't just about fleeting pleasure. It's about living virtuously, making wise choices, and fulfilling one's potential. In essence, true meaning is found when we live in harmony with our best selves and contribute to the well-being of others. Modern take. In today's world, we can apply Aristotle's ideas by striving for balance, developing our talents, building meaningful relationships, and making decisions that reflect our true values. The idea is that fulfillment comes from creating a life that's meaningful in the long term, not just in the moment. 2. Friedrich Nietzsche, create your own meaning. Narrative. Friedrich Nietzsche took a very different approach. He argued that life has no inherent meaning. According to him, we aren't born with a purpose, we must create it ourselves. In his famous work, Thus Spoke Zarathustra, Nietzsche introduces the idea of the Übermensch, overman, an individual who transcends societal norms and creates his own meaning through self-empowerment. Nietzsche believed that instead of searching for a higher power to give our lives meaning, we must boldly declare our own purpose. Modern take. In our time, this idea resonates with the modern movement of self-actualization, where we are encouraged to follow our own path, challenge societal expectations, and live authentically. It's all about embracing the power to shape our own destiny. 3. Jean-Paul Sartre, existence precedes essence, existentialism. Narrative. Jean-Paul Sartre, one of the most famous existentialist philosophers, made a powerful claim: existence precedes essence. What does this mean? Sartre argued that we are born with no predefined purpose. We exist first, and then, through our choices and actions, we define who we are. In other words, life doesn't come with a manual, and it's up to us to create meaning through our decisions. Our identity and purpose aren't given, they're earned through authentic, personal choice. Modern take. This existentialist perspective is especially relevant in modern society, where many people feel lost or overwhelmed. Sartre's ideas remind us that we are free to define ourselves and find meaning, even when it feels like the world is full of uncertainty. 4. Albert Camus, the myth of Sisyphus, absurdism. Narrative. Albert Camus took a different stance when it came to life's meaning. He believed that life is inherently absurd, meaning it has no ultimate purpose, but this doesn't mean we should give up. In his essay, The Myth of Sisyphus, Camus uses the Greek myth of Sisyphus, a man condemned to roll a boulder up a hill forever, only to have it roll back down each time. Camus argues that, even though Sisyphus's task is pointless, he must find his own meaning in the struggle. Modern take. Camus's philosophy teaches us that even in the face of life's absurdities, whether it's work, relationships, or our daily struggles, we can find personal freedom and value in the journey itself. It's not about reaching some end goal, but embracing the experience. 5. Viktor Frankl, the search for meaning in suffering, logotherapy. Narrative. Viktor Frankl, a psychiatrist and Holocaust survivor, believed that life's meaning could be found even in suffering. Frankl developed logotherapy, a form of therapy that helps individuals find purpose through adversity. He argued that we have the ability to find meaning in any situation, especially during hardship. In fact, he believed that suffering itself can be meaningful if we choose how to respond to it. According to Frankl, the greatest human freedom is our ability to choose our attitude toward our circumstances. Modern take. Frankl's ideas are incredibly relevant today, particularly in our era of mental health awareness. In times of crisis or loss, finding purpose in our pain can be transformative. It's a reminder that meaning isn't always about comfort. It can be found in the strength to endure and grow through challenges. 6. Eastern philosophies, Buddhism and the meaning of life. Narrative. In Eastern philosophies, particularly Buddhism, the meaning of life is often tied to overcoming suffering. Buddhists believe that life's purpose is to transcend the cycle of suffering, dukkha, through self-awareness, compassion, and enlightenment. According to the Buddha, the path to liberation is found in the Four Noble Truths and the Eightfold Path, principles that guide us towards ethical living, mindfulness, and wisdom. Modern take. Many people today turn to practices like meditation, mindfulness, and yoga to find peace and meaning in a hectic world. Buddhism teaches us that meaning doesn't come from external achievements, but from inner peace and compassion toward others. Conclusion. As we've seen, there are many different philosophical perspectives on the meaning of life. Some say it's about virtue, others about personal creation, or even about finding meaning in suffering. The key takeaway is that there is no one-size-fits-all answer. The meaning of life is something each of us must explore and define for ourselves. Whether you're inspired by Aristotle's pursuit of flourishing, Nietzsche's self-creation, Sartre's existential freedom, or Frankl's resilience through suffering, the journey toward understanding life's meaning is deeply personal and ever-evolving. Which philosophical view resonates with you the most? Do you believe life's meaning is something we find, or something we create? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. And don't forget to subscribe for more thought-provoking videos on the big questions of life.